Welcome to this video. I'm Andy Jervis. I'm the chairman of Chesterton House Group. And today I'm talking to Rachael Hurdman. Rachael runs a business called Inspire. And Inspire she certainly does. She's worked with our team for a number of years now. And I was going to have a chat with her today and just ask Rachael about her business and how she's helped us and the impact that it's had, because I think anyone watching this who's in business will find that helpful to know some of the principles that she follows, because it's really good stuff. So welcome, Rachael.
Thank you, Andy.
So, just sort of tell me a little bit about your work and what I would call your deliverables. What do you offer to the world?
Yes, so my business, as you said, is called Inspire, and it's soon to be 9 years old, and I cannot quite believe where that time has gone. It's absolutely flown. Before I started Inspire, my entire background in terms of my career was in financial services, and I would say that circa 50% of my work is still within financial services. And I'm really fortunate that a lot of my clients within financial services then recommend me to their clients. So I work now across a range of many, many different sectors. And the core principle of my work is all around inspiring people and performance, with a specific focus on leadership development. So a lot of the work that I've done with your business over the years has been really focused on that. But the key areas that I get involved in my business are coaching, and that could be coaching business owners, it could be CEOs, it can be leaders and managers. Also, a lot of people that perhaps are at a point in their career and they want to change and they want to do something new or different. I also do a lot of work still within financial services in terms of consulting, because I was a management and business consultant for 10 years for some of the big corporates within the industry. I do a lot of work with businesses on team development, so helping teams basically be the best that they can be. And a lot of that work stems from the leadership work that I do. And I also focus quite heavily on the culture of teams and businesses. So that in a nutshell is what I do. My work is a mixture of face-to-face and remote work. And that works really, really well for my clients, and it also works really well for me.
So, I'm sort of intrigued because, on the one hand, you might think that delivering that to a company like ours is self-evident as to the benefit of it. But a lot of companies don't get involved with this sort of coaching. They don't necessarily have that sort of leadership development path and support. Why do you think that's important for a business?
That's a really good question. I think it's crucial for a number of reasons. So even in a world of growing artificial intelligence, which we are all learning to learn about and embrace, my view is that people are your most valuable asset. Okay. And the reality is particularly in a business like yours, the core of your business, and given you're a multidiscipline practice, it's all about relationships, and it's all about giving the very best service that you can to clients. And that means anything that you can do to invest in your people to help them do that has got to be a really, really good thing. And many businesses don't do it because either I think there's a lack of awareness about how important it is in terms of investing in human skills, and I call them human skills. Some people would call them soft skills, and in my view, there's nothing soft about them. These are human skills that really, really help us communicate. They can help us lead and manage, and they can help us be the best that we can be in our roles. And many businesses don't, because maybe they aren't really aware, first and foremost, of what they need. So a lot of the work that we did together before we even kind of designed and built this program was we did a lot of diagnosis and a lot of work focused on really understanding what you needed and wanted as a business. That's really, really key. Some businesses, it will come down to their investment and where they prioritize their investment. So the reality is that there's a great quote which I remember, and I've really taken this with me through the years, well, what if we invest in that person and then they leave? And then my argument back will be, well, what if you don't invest in that person? And it sounds so simple, but the greatest asset we have is our people. And given you and I and your business works in a very focused industry, which puts clients first and front and center, anything that we can do to make those relationships and those interactions as effective as possible means that we're going to deliver the very best service for our clients, which is key.
Yeah. Certainly in our business, then, not all businesses are the same, but as a professional services as a professional services business, then getting the right people to deliver that service is absolutely crucial. And certainly our experience has been that if you involve those people in developing their leadership skills, their management skills, then they're more likely to stay. So, to paraphrase your question, what's the position if you don't offer this training and they stay,
Yeah,
not just and they leave.
yeah.
Um, so certainly we've seen the value of it. So, I mean, obviously we've had experience with this and worked with you for can't remember how many years, quite a few years now delivering this. I mean, what's your sort of modus operandi, if you like? How do you go about delivering that sort of training?
So as I alluded to previously, for me, and I think some of this definitely comes back to my consulting background, and I had a fantastic leader and manager for 10 years when I was a consultant, and that individual is now one of my mentors in my business. And one of the key skills that I learned very, very, very early on is the importance of really, really good diagnosis. And one thing that I would say is Arch Inspire in my business is not an off-the-shelf consulting or training provider. I really pride myself on delivering work that's bespoke and really, really gets to the core of what businesses need, both the challenges that they're encountering, but also the opportunities that they have that maybe they're not capitalizing on. So when we started working together, and I remember meeting you in one of the rooms in your offices many years ago. We actually got a group of people together and we just asked their views and opinions on what would great look like. I've also worked very, very, very closely with Dawn Hubbard, your HR director, throughout the entirety of this. And she's been absolutely brilliant to work with in terms of the planning, the organization, but we did a lot of diagnosis together. So she kind of shared with me the kind of training and development journey that the business had been on previously, because you'd invested in that for a long time as well. And then really working to understand if we were going to design and deliver a program, how are we going to win hearts and minds and how are we actually going to make a difference? And one of the key things I remember was actually me attending one of your board meetings before we even delivered the first module. And that first module was all focused around the vision and the values of the business. And we collectively decided that we needed to do that first to help everyone have a shared and common goal for this whole program. So I remember attending one of your board meetings where we really worked to focus on making sure that the vision and the values were crystallized and were as clear as possible. And I remember that meeting really well because yourself was in it, Richard was in it, David, Dawn, and other members of the board. And what that did was it really helped to set the program up for success. So for me, any business that I work with, I will really invest up time to do the diagnosis. Some businesses I work with will do a specific training needs analysis, but for me, it's all about getting to understand the people in the business. They need to understand me and they need to learn to trust me, because what we've gone through over the last 4+ years now is a real journey of learning development. And that means that your business and your team has had to really trust me through both the team sessions and the one-to-one coaching. But diagnosis is key for me. So I always put myself on the hilltop of anyone attending any program. And I would always ask myself, well, what's in it for me? If I'm going to come to here and invest my time, what's in it for me? What am I going to get? What's going to help me? What's going to support me? And you can't do that without some really good upfront diagnosis to understand the businesses, the issues, the challenges, the opportunities, the positives, the real drivers.
Mm. Well, I mean, I certainly remember that initial meeting, and I mean, I think the overriding impression that I had was that your approach is very much in line with our own methodology. I mean, you know that we use the financial roadmap system in our financial planning meetings. We have a similar thing with the accounting team, and we also have an inquiry process with the legal team, which really does drill down into what people are interested in, what their deeper values are, what their goals are, and getting real clarity about that. Because until you do that, you can't build a plan. So really, what I saw there was that reflection of that approach to the work that we do to be able to get the highest quality outcome. So I mean, I'm confident that we've achieved that. But from your perspective, Rachel, I mean, I can't really ask you to take an outside view because obviously you're the one who's delivered it. So you're probably going to be slightly biased on this. But I mean, what do you perceive as the benefits that have accrued, if you like, to the people that have been on that training? Because do you know how many people on our team have been through it?
Yes, because we had two programs. We had an initial program that had kind of circa 20 leaders and managers. We also had within that program a subset of individuals that did some additional modules because those managers or leaders were kind of a little bit more inexperienced or new to it. And then we have just literally finished our second cohort, which is another group of 6. So you're getting on for about 30 people in your business that have gone through this program over that time.
So what, I mean, I know that we've seen a benefit, but what do you see as the outcomes from that? And do you have any examples? Because I know that you have feedback from the team that have been through these programs.
Yes, I mean, lots of feedback. So when I think back to the program and when we did that initial diagnosis, there were some real key objectives that we put in place for this program. One of those objectives was all around making sure that there was a unified and consistent approach to leadership and management throughout the business. And at the time, you had 3 divisions of your business. And I would say that what I've seen over the years is a much more unified approach, both in terms of the delivery of that, but more the relationships that I've seen formed. So some really good relationships that I see that now exist between financial planning and legal, or legal and accountancy. And that's because everyone has gone on the same journey. The other one that we talked about was making sure that there was a consistent approach to leadership and management as a whole. Now, when you take that many people through a program, and the great thing that I think is a testament to the organization, and I remember contracting with you and Richard at the time, was about, in order to make this really, really fly, and in order to ensure that everyone is bought into this, I remember saying to you both, I really would like you both to go through this as a delegate. And there was no hesitation from either of you then, no hesitation at all. So yourself and Richard and then other members of the board attended every single session, didn't miss one. And it wasn't just the 8 or 12 modules. We had one-to-one coaching in between every module when we got to like module 3 or 4. That's a huge investment of time. And every single person went through that journey. And I think that's a testament to the leadership of the business, that you took it really, really seriously, even when you may have had lots of things in the diary. Never, ever had a session cancelled, ever, from either of you or anyone in the board, which I think is brilliant. The other thing that I think has been a massive success.
Surely that's just normal operating practice, though, isn't it?
Well, I would like to think that it should be, in my view, but that doesn't always happen. And I think particularly when you've got businesses that are going through rapid growth, whether that be expansion, more people, or they're delivering a new proposition, or they're embedding a new system, sometimes it can be really easy for people to think, oh, well, yeah, I really want to, but I'm going to park that because that's more important. And sometimes as human beings, we do that. I never, ever got a sense of that ever, as a
Do you
collective group.
I'm just curious, do you find that there is a disconnect sometimes between the desire of the senior board members to put their team through it, but divorcing themselves from the process?
Yeah, and that can be really common. And one of the things I would say about that is that I'm really passionate about my business and my core values. One of them is all about integrity and responsibility. And given the investment that your business has made in terms of time and financial investment, it's about me looking back at this program and thinking we absolutely did the right thing in the right way. So I would really challenge clients heavily that if someone says we want to deliver a leadership program, but we're not going to be part of it, I would have to really, really think about how that sits with my values. And I would push back quite heavily and say, okay, it might not be 100% of it, but you've got to be present. You've got to buy into it. And I think sometimes with competing demands, what happens wrongly is that the personal development can fall down here. And as a business, you've done the opposite of that, the exact opposite of that, which is why I would say, not only has the program been really successful, but look at what you've created out of it. So you now have a really, really successful CPD program. So that's continuing professional development program, which has been really designed and delivered by both Julie Moretta and Dawn Hubbard. And what's been brilliant is that you've learned and applied so much from the program, and you've taken it and you've created an in-house program for yourselves. The other real key success of that is you have really encouraged individuals that have gone through the program that I've run to actually have an active role in that. So you've got all sorts of people that have been on this journey that are now delivering sessions on questioning skills, coaching skills, contracting skills, feedback. So what you've created is almost an in-house kind of training and development center, which is a direct result of how seriously you took the initial program. I think that's such a success. You've also got a really, really professional and robust intranet. You've got a handbook, which is probably one of the best that I have seen in companies like yourselves, where people who are either experienced managers and leaders or businesses or individuals that are new to leadership and management, there are go-tos, there's help, there's support, there's guidance. And that, I think, is a testament to how seriously you've taken your training and development. And I think another key thing that's really helped is because all the delegates went through one-to-one coaching with me as the program progressed, it provided a really safe space for everybody to then really review their learns from the module and then kind of test them out with me in a safe environment or talk through scenarios in a confidential way that then help them apply those tools. Now, when you've got a group of people that are having 6, 7, 8 coaching sessions with me, as well as a modular program, that's a massive investment. So what you've also now got is a cohort of individuals in your business that are actually really quite good at coaching and have some really good fundamental coaching skills that are then helping them with teams that they may be leading and managing or projects that they might be managing. So I think the benefits are tenfold.
It's quite interesting when you sort of recount all that, because this stuff sort of feels as though it happens sometimes by a sort of a process of osmosis, doesn't it? You just sort of gradually, and it's only when you sit back sometimes and look back, and you've just highlighted some of those really quite significant changes that have gone on, and think, yeah, we've done that.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool. But I do have to blame you for the fact that I've now got to go and sit and write the next L&M session so that I can go and deliver it to the team.
that's
So,
brilliant. That's brilliant.
so that's just to fill everybody in with our L&M leadership and management training. As Rachel says, we've picked up on that. We've created our own sessions based on Rachel's process and teaching, and that's being delivered by members of the team, of which I'm one. So I have that cross to bear. So hopefully I can keep them entertained. We're probably not at the same skill level as you have, but we'll make a good effort.
It'll be brilliant.
So well, that's fantastic. So what's next for Archie Inspire then?
Oh gosh, that's a big question. So I think I said at the beginning of the conversation, I am nearly at 9 years. So I think I'm going to get to 10 years in business, which has been amazing. And when you set a business up from nothing, that seems like a long, long way away. And I think for me, I really, really enjoy what I do, Andy. I love working with individuals. I love working with teams and businesses. And I basically have a role where I just get to help people day in, day out, be the best that they can be. And actually, I think the key driver for me is helping people realize the potential that they actually have, which quite often people that don't maybe work with a coach or a consultant, they just don't ever get to see that. So I think for me, more variety. I'm really fortunate that I have a great portfolio of clients within financial services. But what I've really loved over the last 5 years is that diversification. And I've got some brilliantly strong relationships with financial advisory firms, and they've recommended me to their clients. So I coach people that may be in engineering, aviation, manufacturing, design, professional services. I love the variety of it. So I think I'm had to kind of keep doing what I'm doing because I really enjoy it.
Well, it's been a great joy to me to see some of our team who, have come in as really trainees almost and gone through that process and are now in management roles where they've benefited hugely from all of this. So thank you
Well,
for
thank
all that you've done.
you. And I think programs like this don't work unless you've got really, really, really good buy-in and kind of really strong contracting between the businesses. And I genuinely mean this, Dawn has been instrumental in that. She has been an absolute joy to work with. And I think that relationship has helped us achieve so much. And in turn, she's helping other people to do that. So that's a testament, I think, to the strength of people that you have throughout your organization as well.
Mm. So, I mean, if anyone wants to work with you, how do they contact you?
So they can visit my website, which is www.archinspire.co.uk. And I also write a Friday blog post, which I have written now for many, many years through LinkedIn. So you can find me on LinkedIn just by kind of searching for Rachael Hurdman. And my Friday post has been brilliant, actually, because it's a way for me to connect with the community of people that I've worked with and other people that I don't quite get to reach. So yeah, it's easy to find me.
Okay. Well, we'll flash your details up on this video when we finally get to edit it. But so I presume you're open to inquiries. I mean,
Yes,
you're not so
absolutely.
busy that you're turning everyone away at the moment, are you?
Yes, very busy till the end of the year, but 2025, absolute
Slots
capacity.
available.
Lots
Hot off the
available.
press. Slots still available.
There are some
Get
available.
there, get there while stocks last. Very good. Well, thanks very much for that, Rachel. It's been a great pleasure talking to you as always. And all the best for next year. And thanks again for everything that you've done. And you know, onward and upward, as they say.
Thanks, Andy. Thanks so much.
All right, we'll see you again soon.
Thank you.
Bye.